Sometimes we just need a sock puppet and a corn dog to get through our day, and that's okay. Hey everybody, this is Molly Stone, Associate Director of Live Performance at Catamoment Arts, coming to you from my home in Bradford, Vermont. This is something that we are calling Catamoments. It is a casual video check-in with you all each week, bringing you updates as to what's happening in Catamount world, and some special guests, which we will have today. So to start off, I've got some announcements to make. Right now, registration is open for our annual Tap into Film Slam. This year, it is a 72-hour film slam, 100% online. Registration is open until April 15th, and you can register by going to socapa.org/tapintofilm. Also, April is National Poetry Month, and Catamount is celebrating by reading local poets' poetry on our Facebook page. So join Ann Campbell, the Education Director at Catamoment Arts, as she reads poetry from local folks at 8:30 a.m. every morning on our Facebook page. And I'd like to just drop in a little bit of humor here. We all deal with the situation differently. And I'd like to share with you how my 8-year-old son, Ian, had dealt with his very first Zoom online class meeting this past week. Sometimes we just need a sock puppet and a corn dog to get through our day, and that's okay. So, Catamoment Arts wants to give a big, heartfelt shout out to our neighbors up in Canada, and for our neighbors around the world, our earthmates, as they like to call them. Through music and art, borders are dissolved, and we know that. Right now, we are unable to feel that because of the social distancing and our borders being monitored. And we promise and are dedicated to continue to present artists from our neighboring country of Canada and from all over. Over the years, we have partnered with the Stansted House Concert Network, founded by Hal Newman. And this was very special because it brought Canadian artists into the US, into the NEK, and US artists into Canada, and brought these artists directly into the living rooms of families. And through music, bonded people through the power of shared experience. And so we're missing that right now. But we promise that we will get back to that as soon as we can. The Levitt AMP series. So the Levitt Foundation is dedicated to the power of diversity. Only through diversity can we find strength. And so the Levitt AMP St. Johnsbury Music Series at Dog Mountain is slated to happen starting in July. We're going to keep that date flexible as we keep hearing things from our local government. But Levitt understands that power and diversity do strengthen a community. And so over the years that we've hosted the Levitt AMP St. Johnsbury Music Series, we have hosted bands from all over, including Montreal, Scotland, Ireland. Last year we had a band from New Zealand. And in 2018 we had a band from Italy. So Canzionere, Grecanico, Salentino was a band that closed out our Dog Mountain series back in 2018. and they are Italy's leading and longest standing traditional music ensemble. And their band leader, fiddler and drummer is Mauro Durante, who I had the chance of speaking to via a Zoom interview. And here's footage of that. So welcome, Mauro. It's really good to see you.
Very good to see you too. Thank you for inviting me to have this beautiful chat.
Yeah, it's really awesome to have you. My first question, which is going to be the question of everybody watching, is how are things in Italy right now?
They're pretty bad because the lockdown has been going on for over a month already. And the measures that the government took, they went on, basically increasing in, strictness, severity, and basically we are at home all the time. We can go out only to buy groceries or for medical or urgent reasons. And we are estranged from our lives, parents, relatives, anything. And of course, we cannot work, only the really urgent and immediate works like, food, agriculture are allowed, or information. All the rest is basically on hold, let's say, but it's quite heavy, and it looks like the curve of the death and contagions is slowly turning down. Let's hope so. And we're also worried of the future, financially, economically. We'll see.
Yeah. How do you feel as an artist with this new climate?
Well, with Canzionere, Grecanico, Salentino, we basically lost all our income of 2020 so far. We had a tour scheduled for March. We should have been to India, France, Germany, Italy, and then Korea. Everything got cancelled. And that was, of course, a terrible outcome for us, because all our possibility to earn money, to do what we love, to feel fulfilled, got erased immediately, suddenly. Yeah. But then you understand that this is for a greater good, and we are holding and hoping that we'll get out of this even stronger than before.
So on that note, you have a project that you're working on that's in honor of that, working towards a greater good. Can you talk about that?
Well, actually, the story is that I was doing pretty well during my quarantine, and then in the last days, the weight of that situation was starting to feel a little bit heavier, let's say, and I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed. And luckily, I had this moment where I wrote an instrumental piece on my violin, and something came into my mind, and it was like the idea of naming this song, this instrumental piece, "We Are All in the Same Dance." And that's why I decided, to try create a music video out of that, involving dancers, professional dancers and non-professional dancers from all over the world, from any style of dances, because, the song has some elements of our own traditional music and dance, pizzica, or Taranta music and dance. But I wanted this to be something shared, something that could be really a picture and a statement of what we are living. Everyone from their own quarantines, their own lockdowns, but our feet are still stomping the ground. All our feet, we are together and we are in the same dance. So we are still collecting material from all over the world. And I'm I'm feeling really, relieved and happy from the quantity and of material I'm receiving from literally everywhere, all my friends, all the community of artists and music lovers that I met throughout the years, but also so many people I never heard of that I don't know how came to meet my project, because I only did a post on Facebook, and I'm not even that popular on Facebook. I'm just a normal profile page. It's not like anything big, and still words traveled in a way, and we're getting material from India, Australia, New Zealand, Europe, all over Europe, and United States, Mexico, and it's really good. And the director is a great one. He's a great artist, and he really joined the project with an amazing heart and attitude, because all of us are doing this for free, of course. Me, the mixing engineer, the director, all the dancers that are freely giving their own films, and we are looking forward to finishing the working and releasing maybe this project in let's say 10 days, hopefully, at most.
Something that you said back when you performed for us in St. Johnsbury at Dog Mountain that you just reminded me of. My favorite quote from you, or from the one that you said on stage, was, "When you dance alone, you cannot heal." And just talking about that day on Dog Mountain when you guys were there, can you recall any feelings that you had when you joined us that day? Because I know for me and for the people that were there, it was life-changing to share those moments with you and to dance together.
The memories are vivid in my eyes, really. And I remember, the sunset and the beautiful mountain and the landscapes in Vermont, and the people that started to gather in the grass opposite the stage, and all the food trucks, and there was a beautiful atmosphere. It was like being invited into a community of beautiful people. And then when the music started, everything happened, like magic, and we were connected in a way, even if our kind of music, our lyrics are not even in Italian. They're, in a dialect, our Salentino dialect, and still we felt connected. And the idea of, especially nowadays, the idea of if you dance alone, you cannot heal, is really important. Because the core concept itself of dancing is the idea of being together, something that needs to be shared. You are sharing, the ground, you're sharing the air, you're sharing your body, you are tuned to someone else. And our experience in Vermont was actually also the first gig of that tour in 2018.
Yep. And
all of us remember the show very well, and the atmosphere, and the gift that you all made us, spending time with us and sharing what you were feeling.
Well, from me personally, and from everyone up in St. J in the Northeast Kingdom, we again will share that dance with you. Actually, like physically share some space with other people, hopefully very, very soon. But until then, projects like yours and the work that's coming out from artists from all over is showing, first of all, how important the arts are to our life, and I feel it's foundational to our happiness, just something that we require. And so I value you and what you're doing so much, and on behalf of Catamoment Arts and everyone here in Vermont, thank you.
Thank you so much, and please stay safe, and let's stay in touch. Thank you, Molly.
Absolutely. Thank you so much to Mauro Durante for joining me today. And stay tuned for the next show where we will have another special guest. And until our next Catamoment together, to everyone around the world, all of our friends, please stay safe and stay well. Bye.
Alex, we're going to pretend you're greeting Ian. Ian, can you greet Eleanor?
Good morning, Eleanor.
Good morning, Ian. Very good. Nice job, guys.
No. This stuff is killing me.